Welcome to Rolling Intentions. My name is Jason. Today, we have...
Bobbi.
Charles.
Megan.
Nagor, keeper of the chalice of the damned.
Damn it, fuck it.
That's all you're ever getting. It's never going to change now. It happened once and now it's just...
I'm sure the first time it wasn't of the damned.
It
was like a holy sacred something
Keeper
shit.
of the Sacred Chalice.
It was! It was Keeper of the Sacred
Sacred
Chalice.
chalice of the damned.
And then the chalice got damned. You know.
No, it is the
That
sacred
happens.
chalice of the damned.
Yeah, it was just a Sacred Chalice this time. Pretty sure. Not last time. Last time was of the damned.
We can always
First time.
reference it on the podcast.
Exactly, so fuck you. Okay, but I'm going to start at the introduction.
Engage.
I'm probably wrong. Oh well.
Did we see what we're playing yet today?
Oh, right. Oh, Jesus. We're playing Don't Rest Your Head, a game of Insomnia in the Mad City by Fred Hicks. Fred Hicks also made other games. Alright.
What? I love you, Jason.
It's actually made by Mad Hat, and they got, like, Adventure of something or other. Jesus. They also got, supplements to this game, which was like, Don't Lose Your Mind. And they got another one coming out, too, which is like something, don't read the book. I think that's what it does. Which
Don't burn the candle.
Oh, don't read the book. Don't read the book is RPs put in the story format for a book. So there's basically mini stories inside the book, but it's basically a book of sessions.
Awesome.
It's just called Don't Read the Book.
Okay.
And Fred Hicks, you're awesome. So listen to our podcast. Introduction. You cannot sleep. It started like that for all of us. Back when the gardens were a variety of insomniacs. Maybe you had nightmares. The gods know. We do now. Or maybe you just had problems that you couldn't let. They wouldn't let you have a good night's sleep. Jesus Christ.
Problems with flow there, Jason.
Yeah, but it's almost like you can almost see the other side of the page and just sort of trying to.
Jesus, yeah, you have to read
Yeah.
two things at once there.
Yeah, it's sort of like
Thin books are bad, Fred. Use good quality paper. Come on.
We just need
Next
Peter.
time,
He's the
first.
one that's good at reading
Hell.
stuff out.
maybe you're just over caffeinated. It doesn't matter. Whatever it was, eventually you got to the point where sleep became a choice rather than mundane, and eventually it just dropped off the list. Then and only then something clicked. I started noticing the extras. An extra door here and there. An extra window looking out to a city packed with surplus buildings, towers standing shoulder to shoulder, roofs angling into one another, clocks chiming in the 13th hour, and unfamiliar stars twinkling in the two clear streets and alleyways that weren't there before, leading into late-night markets that sold things like laughter and innocent vision.
Imagine, if you will.
A scary door.
God, reminds me of Ghostbusters. Yeah, because there was a character in Ghostbusters. Had a gigantic head or something. He was like I don't know, from the 80s. Who here is like
talking about?
how old's everybody here?
No, he's talking
How
about
old's
one of the
everybody
cartoons.
The
The real
original.
Ghostbusters or the original Ghostbusters?
The original Ghostbusters.
The animated show or the movie?
Yeah, I think it was the animated.
Okay,
The real
because
Ghostbusters.
there was 3 Ghostbusters cartoon shows. Only one of them was actually Ghostbusters. The other 2 had the copyright before the Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, the Hanna-Barbera ones.
Hanna-Barbera ones. So there's one called the real Ghostbusters, there's one called the original Ghostbusters, and there's one called the Ghostbusters.
And the
So
real
anyway-
Ghostbusters is the one that's actually Ghostbusters.
1980.
Actually, no, it's the original Ghostbusters. It's actually the Bill Murray Ghostbusters.
No, I think it's the real Ghostbusters. That's the...
That was the one with the black kid who had the afro.
I think that's the original.
And the girl who looked like Phoebe from Magic School Bus.
Definitely the original is that one.
Okay,
So
maybe I'm
the
confused.
Ghostbusters, the one with the gorilla, the original is the one with the Afro kid, and the real Ghostbusters is the one they released because they couldn't have the title to
The Ghostbusters.
This is 1984, right? 1985.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, cool. So that's what I was talking about. Anyways,
You guys are getting really intense over Ghostbusters.
all of your pop culture nerds.
I just read about it once on a trivia page.
I know about it because Movie Bob.
I don't know what movie Bob
what
is.
is Movie Bob?
What?
What is Movie Bob? What are you talking about?
Movie Bob is he does his own little podcast weekly show thing called, he's got two. He's got one called just Movies with Movie Bob, and or Intermission something. No, that's his written novel. And he's got one called The Big Picture. The Big Picture is a informative little thing, and I recommend everyone that listens to the podcast go watch it, including you. Why do you not watch The Big Picture?
I don't listen to the podcast, so.
Yeah.
He's like, put that shit online, like editing or anything.
Fuck that.
Editing? Fuck editing. What? No, you
don't know.
Wait, you need editing to have a successful podcast? That explains so much.
No, you need editing for a shitty podcast. The best podcasts have no editing at all.
Okay,
Do we even have like a catchy theme song or anything?
Yeah, usually there's a theme song based on the...
Yeah, it's me singing Staying Alive.
No.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Alright, both of you get out.
There's two rooms.
Okay. As much as I appreciate this off-topic conversation, let's focus. Jason?
Alrighty. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. And we did all that already.
Focus.
When you took a long walk down the streets of the Mad City, you stopped being a sleeper and started being awake. But that click you heard wasn't from the secret world snapping you into place. It was from the sound of nightmares flicking off the safety and pointing out the guns to your head. When you crossed over, you became a target. Smell you now. They are close enough. The paper boys are closing in. Better pray that you don't become the next headline. Your chum in the water, my friend. It's time. It is time. You got it ready. Before the clock chimed 13 again.
You're a metaphor awaiting my pen. It's the other way to get
You're going to get tired, and more tired than ever before. But mark my words, sleep isn't even off the list now. It's outright an enemy, and will strip away your vitality and leave you vulnerable. There is no going back. And from here on out, there's only one simple rule, and that is that must dominate your life. Stay awake and stay alive.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't rest your head.
Alright, how do you begin character creation?
Well, what you need is 3 6-sided dice that are white, 6 black dice, but this basically colorization,
Wow.
8 red dice,
I got some blue
a
dice
handful of pocket change.
Not sure what the pocket change is for unless we're mugging people.
It could be. Nothing wrong with that.
I like mugging people.
I guess I'll just use this. I need a bowl because he needs. Oh, can you hand me that bowl, that clear one? Yeah. So
Didn't we need 6 red dice? Or
Yeah, I'm using these 3 as my other red dice.
oh, I see.
I do have red dice, you know.
It's cool.
We have our own.
A gigantic dice. Come on.
I have a dice.
I'm like playing with 4-year-olds here.
But if I use
collectively, we're 16.
But when I use the small ones, my mommy tells me that I could choke.
Yeah, I actually believe that.
I would say I chew on this one and I won't swallow it.
The question is, though, if he chokes to death on the dice, would you edit it out?
No, that shit's saying.
Okay, we're off topic
when I
again.
say witty things.
So let's focus. It is a weekday.
All protagonists, player characters, are insomniacs of some sort, have awakened to the Mad City, and who eventually are stalked by nightmares. As the awake, you have access to strange powers, ranging from simply being able to do certain things unusually well to performing acts that are flatly impossible. Questions. But beyond being awake, protagonists are also much flawed humans with flawed people who have problems. These problems lead to many sleepless nights, and thus their current predicament.
So there's some reason we're an insomniac in the first place. We're not just magically insomniacs.
No, everybody got a issue. Make things so it's perfect for this group. To make that's right. I don't know you as well enough, but
I'm dating Charles.
I bet you're dating Charles, so I was like, there's something wrong with everybody here. I say that in the most polite way
It's okay.
possible. I think it's changed.
Emotionally damaged. So let's just move
I'm
on, shall
very
we?
used to this type of trash talk after 2 years, 8 months. Who cares?
To take a step back from the strangeness and the nightmares and the mad city, this means that every protagonist brings a set of issues and events to the table that compromises his personal story. Shut up! Setting aside the basics of surviving the protagonist's story is about how he explores these issues and questions whether or not he'll be able to raise above and take back his life. To get a grip on the protagonist's personal story, their connections to the setting, players must answer 5 questions beyond the simple basics of what is your name. GM will look at the answers from time to time to get a handle on how the protagonists are perceiving their personal stories, and the players get a chance to make use of their answers in ways that guide the development of the game. Here are the questions. So, this is what the character sheet looks like.
Okay.
So, I'll sort of want to start writing that shit down. First thing is, my name is ... You don't need to answer that right now.
Sergei Marov, math professor.
I'll bring you to the questions now.
I just imagined my most troubled professor, and now I'm going to be playing him.
Oh my. I should play my most troubled teacher.
I have drinks.
Are we all doing teachers now?
I want to play the computer hipster. Can I play the computer hipster?
Definitely.
Play the computer. Are we playing as a group of teachers?
Has anyone ever watched Chaos Head? I could be the creepy dude from Chaos Head.
Never watched it, so.
Fuck you.
If you're going to ask Charles, have you watched X? The answer is going to be no.
I'm playing a math teacher now. I don't think I want to play my old math teacher. I know her too well.
I don't know Sergei well enough to care about
Wait a
portraying
second.
him.
Yep.
Oh.
You know the person who was going to...
I know things.
That sounded ominous. I know things.
The pictures are pretty cool in this book too, by the way.
It is. I'm sure the podcast will love that.
That's a really good picture.
Yeah, I'm there.
Jason.
Can I play you?
Shut up. Yes, you can. By the way.
Sweet.
But you have to know my problems. Do you know them?
I can make them up as I go along and get you kids guesses.
I'm sure you'll be right.
I think that's probably our April Fool's Day game where everyone plays as someone else at the table.
Oh. Okay, I'm good. I so close the
that really happened, and it was your D&D campaign.
I attempted to make a D&D campaign where I took people and turned them into D&D characters. They were sucked into the D&D world, and they all got angry at me because I gave them bad scores and things. Apparently people get offended when you give them 12 charisma. Especially if you're sleeping with them.
That's good charisma.
That's extremely good. That's over average. Average 10.
Well, so that's what I thought. But that's because I could only... So I had to also give them balanced stats. So she was a rogue, I had to give her dexterity. The other two were both strength-based, I had to give them strength. And then I just sort of had to BS, and everybody had to have high stats. So she got dex, charisma, and something else. Int. Yeah. Dex, charisma, and int. Sarah got strength, wisdom, and something else. And Devin...
Constitution.
I think she had really low constitution because she's a pansy. Devin got strength, int, and whiz. That's his primaries, I think. And he had like better stats than most of them, I think. I attempted to embody people's characters without being too offensive. However, I also had to keep in mind that they had to be like them. And
I have something to do tomorrow evening.
Okay.
Seeing a play.
Oh, okay, right. So I can go with skipping on Sean.
I often immediately associate bright purple hair with sophistication.
I'm sophisticated as balls.
I'm colorblind. I have to guess. What do you want? I can't see purple.
My dad has the same thing. It's okay.
That is protanopia. He's more paranopia. He has it a bit worse than your dad.
Yeah.
I can see 4 colors.
No.
Only 4?
Red, yellow, brown, and blue.
That's why your rule
Okay.
is fucked up.
Yes,
That's my
eye perception is fucked up.
Let's continue with character creation or whatever we were doing.
Yes.
Let's. What's been keeping you awake? That is the very first question right on your fucking sheet of paper. Jesus Christ, you even got your name thing written down yet?
You mean the thing that says name.
What is your name? And
So are we looking for a personal problem here, or can it be like something external?
How about we all do ourselves since we were just talking about it?
no, don't do yourselves. I want everybody
This
to
is the
know
story
my
of my
problem.
life. I can't sleep. I can't sleep at all.
It's just sad if you do that. This is the source of characters' insomnia. What sets up the character's immediate history and what's it been like. Think about what troubles him. What pressures turn him into insomnia. He running from something? Does he stay awake due to nightmares or substance abuse? Has he lost someone dear to him and robbing him of his sleep? Does that? Why it matters. The question connects the character to what all the protagonists in the game have in common, insomnia. They can further drive the development of the character by offering opportunities for flashbacks. There's flashbacks in the game, much like something like Lady Blackbird, but in more. If it suggests something that the character is avoiding confronting, the GM may look at the source of ideas and see where the character.
Alright, so imposter syndrome leads to working and studying late.
Watching My Little Pony marathon.
To be fair, that's a
We could never sleep again.
I watched a 18-hour marathon leading up to the season premiere.
Oh.
I watched the full live stream from 1 to season premiere.
Oh, Zyros?
No, Philly Pound.
Oh, okay.
The one that was advertised on Equestria
I
Day.
didn't know this.
What? Well, we're part of a community.
No, I'm just, I was just explaining, like, what's been keeping Brogan.
I blame her.
Oh, she's been watching it?
Because I can't sleep and I'm there. Yeah.
So what did everybody write down for you?
Just wait.
What did everybody write down?
Imposter syndrome.
preoccupied with super bad divorce.
Oh, imposter syndrome is particular. It's usually associated with academics. It's when someone's put in a position.
Hey, you can write down the details, like write it out, so that I got something to. Oh, you did write it out. Okay.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome is when you can put in a position where people expect you to be smart, or you're rewarded for being smart, but you don't feel like it. So this happens to a lot of grad students. Like they feel, I don't deserve to be a grad student. I don't deserve to be in grad school. What the hell am I doing here? I'm not that smart. I'm not as smart as everyone around me. I'm not good enough.
So, what situation kept you awake?
The particular situation is that...
That's what you write down. We'll go to the next question. Alright. What just happened to you? That might be the best.
Okay, that ties into why I can't.
Yeah. This is what happens when your character, in his very first scene of the game, is not in the GM's hands, it's in the player's. Such a moment should always feature a moment of high stress for the character. This may be different from what's keeping the character awake. Have to relate to,
But it could.
but it could. What would make an exciting, stressful scene? Is the source of the character's mundane or is the source of stress mundane or superficial? Did you just lose your job? Did a monster just jump out of the closet? Did you walk into your wife? Did you walk in on your wife with another guy in bed?
Did you walk into your wife?
Did you walk into your wife?
That would also be disturbing.
Bobbi.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
My character was locked out of the house.
Did you fall off a building and
Oh
land on
my
a
god,
scratch?
one time me and Devin got locked in my aunt's house. Oh. We actually... Never mind. It was super stressful. It was so stressful.
Oh no.
Well, my character's agoraphobic, so being locked out of the house is a problem for her.
Ooh.
her.
She's an elementary student.
I was so tied up on correcting you that I forgot to make everybody else say it. You know what? We'll say it at the end. We'll just do it at the end.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. Right. Though, I think we're supposed to tie it into each other. Oh.
Well, we can review it then. So, so what's keeping your character awake?
Yeah, it's keeping your character.
A super bad divorce and a really hard custody battle, and he really wants a son, even though he doesn't really have time to parent, but
Okay, that's awesome. Alright. Yours?
Okay, my girl, she witnessed a crime and now she thinks she's being stalked.
Okay, that's what just happened. We're talking about the first thing.
That was
Oh.
why she can't sleep because she thinks she's being stalked.
Paranoia.
Oh, paranoia. She thinks she's being stalked.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm Emily Branston. She's an elementary school student who has just discovered she's adopted and she's horribly agoraphobic. And it's keeping her awake, and she's uncomfortable in her own house now because she realized her parents aren't her real parents.
Alright, now we go back to you. What just happened?
What just happened? Semesterly performance reviews came back, and as I was reviewing them late at night, I realized just not only are they really bad, but they haven't for the past few years, and these ones are very exact. The students know exactly how to dig at my lectures and make me feel inadequate.
Okay. So that just happened to you.
I don't feel
so was
very
it
good about
supernatural, though? Like, did
Did
everybody have, like, exact same answers on the sheet of paper, and you're just like,
Oh,
how does everybody...
Does this need to be supernatural?
Supposed to be
It can be.
supernatural?
I just said, is this just mundane or supernatural?
Oh.
Okay.
You can actually have supernatural activities happen. They're in the game. Actually, they're part of your character. Everybody will have supernatural abilities.
I'm
Well, it
going
might
to
be
torture this poor
supernatural,
girl.
but for whatever case, all of the performance reviews, all of them, are very negative and very exact.
Okay, who hasn't had a horrible, nasty review of their prop? I've done it. Everyone's done it. Everyone's vicious. Now I feel bad.
But everyone at the same
I
time?
feel terrible. Yeah, because some are really horrible.
Okay, fair enough.
And in the prop leader's room, and everybody in the room was talking about how horrible the prop is. I'm like, what did you write? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a terrible person.
Maybe I need something extra than just the normal semesterly performance reviews. I'll think about that when everyone else is.
I didn't know I was keeping my props up at night now. God.
You don't have to. I mean, you can just say that. I mean, it's up to you. It's whatever character you want to play.
If it feels like just another professor, I don't think it'll ever become a character. It'll just become a generic template. So I need to think about something more specific and that kind of...
It would be nice to get something gritty after you make the character, because that's how... Otherwise the game doesn't turn into be a
So
horror
continue
game.
around the table. I'll continue thinking.
Sure. What just happened?
I'm not quite sure yet.
Okay. What just happened?
Her or me?
You.
Okay, so Emily got home, and when she went to get inside her house, she runs from the bus to the house every day because she's terrified of being outside. But her parents make her go to school.
How old is she?
She's only 13. But she runs to her house, and when she gets to the door, there's no door handle or doorknob. So she runs around to the side door and the same thing. She checks all the windows, there's no latches. There's no way for her to open up the entryways to her house.
Okay.
And she's panicking.
Okay. Perfect. Well, that's where the scene begins, so... For you.
Sunstreak of inspiration. Looking out the side of the window, he can't count anything correctly. Like, he tries to count up the chimneys and then multiply by the rows and columns. It doesn't add up. And, like, he knows the number of houses on the street, but no matter how he counts, he always gets a different number.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it's a supernatural.
Yeah.
Because he's seeing all the extra stuff and it's popping in and out of
because
his
it's
vision.
fading. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
And, yeah.
So he's just, like, freaking out because there's shit going on.
And he thinks that it's, he's finally cracking.
Under pressure and stuff. That's good. What just happened?
Okay, she was having a really bad day, and she had to go to the bank. She rushed after work, and then the bank was being robbed.
Oh, wow.
And the guy was wearing a mask, but she was so stressed out she doesn't know if he was just like some kind of like monster or if he was dressed up so no one would notice him, because she thinks it might be supernatural, but she's not sure.
So you're literally right in the middle of a robbery.
Yeah.
So she thinks the bank is being robbed by a monster.
Yeah, that's what she thinks, but she also doesn't know if it's true or not, but she's like...
Maybe her character's a little bit more crazy than everybody else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows? What just happened?
And his son apparently, from what the lawyers told him,
Okay.
just told his wife that, he had refused to feed him or, like, let him play with all of his toys or anything like that, even though, he's a good dad.
Yeah. All right, cool.
You see what?
So you're in the court right now, like you've just been delivered that news.
Yes.
In court.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, with your son on the witness stand?
Yep.
That'll be interesting.
Mommy said she'd take me to Disneyland if I said that.
Is that a reference to something?
Nah,
Okay.
It's just in
Maybe.
general.
That just seems more sad than funny.
I don't know. I find it funny. On the surface, what's on the surface? The next question. So the next question right down the sheet is what's on the surface. This determines first impressions that your character gives off and tells what is obvious about him. What does the protagonist appear at first blush? At first blush, as opposed to what he actually is. How does others see him? What is his physical appearance? What sort of personality does he have? Does he put his best foot forward or his worst? Answer will be the strongest guide to how the world interacts with the protagonist. It will offer ways of which the face he turns to the world can help or hinder him. What's on the surface is basically how does people perceive him that I've just meeting him.
An absent-minded, skinny man who seems very hesitant to speak or act.
You was taken right from your property.
Kind of making other things up as I go.
Okay.
I'm using him as a template, but I have a couple of ideas where I want to take the character.
Nice. That's cool. It'll take a little bit.
I think Emily's very bookish, and she never makes eye contact when she's talking with you because she's always staring at the windows.
Really?
She's terrified of the outdoors. It's almost like she thinks it's somehow going to get in through openings.
Wow.
Well, soon she's going to be right.
It makes you wonder what happened to her.
That is a terrifying thing. Like, can we put that on the podcast?
Maybe.
It's like every time there's a frightening moment, just like flashlight face that.
Craig is tall, he's an amateur bodybuilder, and he has lots of hipstery tattoos and a faux hawk and like the glasses and all that stuff.
That's nice.
He's, very nice and pleasant to get along with, but at the same time he's not very competent at teaching computer stuff, which is his actual job.
Cool.
Okay. She's a secretary. She's like pretty blonde and she has like the little blazer and she's really shy and jittery and kind of like a pushover and like really eager to please.
Okay.
I think Emily has to be ginger.
Next question. What lies beneath? This speaks to the protagonist's secrets. The part of himself that doesn't show to the world if he can help it. What is the protagonist's real deal? What would be a surprising twist that plays counterpoint to what he's all about? What secrets would he give his life to protect? Give his life to protect. How does he see himself? What lies beyond himself? Or what lies does he tell himself? This answer can be complicated, but it will portrait the character and give him real three-dimensionality. It plays strongly into the character's motive. In the absence of anything else, this informs what sorts of things might, over time, be brought to light, or be carefully or deliberately kept in the dark. Secrets that you guys do not want to tell anybody. Something dark secrets.
All these tattoos are fake. I draw them on with Sharpie every morning.
I've got them out of mine. From the 90s, I used to collect the lick tattoos. I've been saving them up ever since. Every day I put a new one on.
Well, this is necessarily true. But Sergei thinks of himself as a manipulator. He sees himself as a controller that doesn't know how to live without controlling the other people around him, without convincing them that he's an intelligent, well-reasoned man.
Some other people I know big time.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to actually be a controller. He just imagines that if he wasn't, people wouldn't let him teach, for example, or keep his job, or respect him, or other things that he sees as necessary. Or perhaps if they learned that he was controlling them, they would dislike him. Now, whether he is actually good at controlling people, different matter.
More like a manipulator than underneath.
Yeah. Or he believes himself.
Because his outer appearance is what's on the surface is definitely not manipulative. Manipulative person.
Now, whether or not he actually is very manipulative is a question, but that's how he sees himself.
Okay. Makes sense. Still working on yours?
A little bit.
Anybody else?
And that's playing into his imposter syndrome. So. I'm not really succeeding at tying this into any other character.
It's okay.
Well, you're a teacher, yes?
The next thing is where it ties into stuff.
I
Might be his.
I was saying math professor. He could be a math teacher.
Yeah.
And thus he could be your teacher.
Oh no!
Or a teacher that, where maybe he handles the math competition, so he's been around you.
Maybe you tutor me after school.
Maybe.
Maybe Emily's bad at math. Or maybe she's doing AP math courses. And you've been hired to do work.
Maybe.
And she's adopted. I think that implies she has a wealthy family.
Fair enough. Or at least very white.
Extremely white.
Well, she's ginger.
What lies beneath?
Extremely narcissistic. He's all about status and appearances, and the majority of his actions aren't for any gain beyond proving to the world that he is as perfect as he thinks he is. One might even think that he doesn't actually want to parent his son. But, he won't let himself think that, of course. He just wants to have his son.
He wants to be a virtuous person
He
without
wants
being
to win.
virtuous. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Alright, well, when you do that, I'm not sure.
Man, I wonder what kind of generic person template you are working off of. It's almost as if you have a very specific set of goals in mind.
Are you saying that it's you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound at all like Charles.
Bodybuilder.
Well,
It almost sounds like some MRAs we know.
Next question. What is your path? Shit. Wait a second. Did we do all the what lies beneath yet?
Yes.
Did we?
Megan, did you do yours too?
No. I just know she's a raging alcoholic. No one knows that. I'm trying to figure out why she's.
Alcohol's good and everyone loves it.
Yes. Alright, moving on.
Well, that could be what lies beneath as well. Alright.
She.
Yeah, right.
I could go somewhere with that and I'm not going to. Okay.
Alright. What's your path? This question addresses the character's goals and points to how, in a vacuum, a story about him that could reach conclusion. Think about where the protagonist is headed. If a story were written about his life, what would be its theme? What is his goals? What does he want or need? The ultimate question of the game, where the personal journey of the protagonist is more important than anything else. The character isn't dodging nightmares or navigating the mad city. This is what's on his mind and youth.
And what's the name of the question again?
What's your path? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a positive thing, does it?
No, it has to be something that you are trying to achieve. It's a goal. It is where the protagonist is headed. If there were a story written about his life, what would it be? What is his goals? What
Yeah.
need? Could be like, your child got kidnapped. Something like that. Or your child's missing. Or your child won't stop lying. Make sure he's
I'll
not
stop
lying.
having such a horrible child.
Or basically make a pathway of your what just happened to you. Link those two up. Or link up that or very first question, which was what's keeping you awake.
I'm thinking that when a character wants to achieve what's likely to be his story are two entirely different things. He seems more like the type of depressive character who, in a vacuum, would go towards suicidal depression. But what he wants to achieve, obviously, isn't suicide.
Right. Yeah. That's not make that a goal. That will be a very short campaign for you. Yeah.
He rests his head at the end.
You find tattered remains spread across the ground.
So I guess my question is, despite his suicidal depression, why is he still alive? And that's his path.
Yes.
That's a tough question.
Can he not be terrified of death?
Here, what would happen to him? Then again, what's his path?
Maybe he's religious.
Survive forever, like.
Maybe he's religious and wants to, redeem himself so that he guarantees he goes to heaven in the afterlife.
No, redemption doesn't necessarily have to be a religious thing. Maybe he just wants to not be a burden on anyone else. And when he finds out that there's other people in this waking world, he, kind of sees it as a responsibility to protect them more. Otherwise.
But he doesn't.
Maybe he wants, a meaningful death.
Oh yeah,
I want to be remembered forever.
He wants to die, but he doesn't want to suicide. He wants to have a virtuous death.
Yeah, he wants his
wants
death
to be
to have
remembered.
meaning.
He wants to be remembered. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe he doesn't have anybody in his life, and he feels like if he died now, everybody would just forget who he was. And then he needs to be remembered because, if not for his academics, for something.
Because
he tried to achieve his academic, and he couldn't achieve it in everybody else's eyes. So he has to prove to everybody that he's not a failure.
Or he has to prove to himself that he's not a failure. Prove to himself he's not a failure. That's actually very distinct and very...
Emily wants to find her parents.
Whoa, yeah.
Her birth parents.
That's right. Well, maybe...
It'll be a challenge. She's agoraphobic.
Are they in the house? No. Oh dear.
Her real parents. I think she's actually adopted. So.
Yes. She wants to find, like, her actual parents. Birth parents.
Ready? And what about you?
Gets a son, despite him being a horrible lying kid. He and his son lead a lifestyle reminiscent of, 80s sitcoms and prove the ex-wife wrong.
Prove the ex-wife wrong?
Yes. Well, prove that he's a good person and all that stuff. But right now, the ex-wife being wrong is...
Good enough.
I look, something come through the wall. Like, yeah, that guy's sane. So, we got the questions done. So, on this side of the table, discipline, 3 boxes. Permanent madness, 3 boxes. Current exhaustion, 6 boxes. Yeah, so we do have character creation. So, boxes, there's fight and there's flight. You don't need to worry about the boxes for that. Still lots of character creation scars.
Wait, I haven't got all the little boxes.
It's cool. We're going to go through it all. You know what?
Then there's talent.
Exhaustion, talent, yeah, but that's
that all comes after.
Yeah, I'll be going through the rest of the character creation.
Cool.
So, set discipline. Discipline is your general reflection of how skilled your protagonist is. Pretty much everything. It's a general measure of degree of self-control. All protagonists have a discipline score of 3. Score of 3 means that your character will always roll 3 discipline dice, no matter what it is. At whatever he attempts to. By comparison, normal people, sleepers, have a discipline of 1 or 2. So a character has 3 discipline is exceptional. Choose responses. So underneath all stuff is response. A protagonist starts with 3 response boxes. We divide up between fight and flight. Distribution of these boxes is first a general indication of how much your character is angry and aggressive versus fearful and passive. Responses of fight and flight are important to how your protagonist responds to extreme stress levels. When the psychological strain of the situation overwhelms him, the responses of the character sheet will indicate how he will behave in the situation. How his responses to functional and play will be. So basically, you've got boxes, you put the boxes in front of fight or flight. Divide them up.
So 3 boxes, you
3
said?
boxes. So
Yeah. Alright, flight 3.
Fight 3.
Damn straight!
Wow. Nobody...
I got the fun.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of because you get to check the boxes like anytime there's extreme stress. So in a situation where running is definitely a bad idea. Good idea, and you have no choice to
She
fight.
can't flee. It's inherent to her what's underneath.
Cool. No problem.
2 flights
Well,
and
do
a
that.
fight.
Yeah, no problem. Alright, determine talents. The character must choose an exhaustion talent and 1 talent of madness for the character. An exhaustion talent allows the character to be thoroughly exceptional, supernaturally if so, at a particular thing he can already do. So much of a talent allows him to climb up exceedingly well impossible surfaces, run far and fast, perform calculations as fast as a calculator, or simply shoot things very, very well. This definition must be reasonably narrow in the GM's judgment, and on par with terms of beneath with other protagonists' talent picks. So nobody can have the same talent.
There are lots of talents, or
Yeah.
do we... Okay.
You make it up. Using your exhaustion talent can push the character closer to the point of needing sleep. Falls asleep, this could mean the end of him. Something you already do exceptionally well, but you're doing it even more exceptionally well. Yeah.
I think because of her agoraphobia, she's learned to pick locks.
Okay. So she can.
I think that's her talent.
Heavy lifting.
Should I say pick locks?
Okay.
Or open doors?
You
Has
can
she ever
lift- you
just
can
tried
lift
to
really heavy
break
things.
things down?
Okay.
I'm wondering if she's just, if I should say pick locks or open doors, because she might just be really good at smashing door handles that doors open.
Okay.
Or like, she might, like, breaking windows or levering them open, that kind of thing.
She's very exceptional about getting into things.
Yes.
That's fine.
I think estimating...
So basically, if
We'll,
it's
we'll put breaking in.
breaking in, yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Like I say, you're very good at breaking into things because you need some kind of closure.
The way I'm wording it is to estimate complex computations requiring much data or estimation to high precision in his head very quickly. So, like, for example, if he's in a completely unfamiliar place, he might look at all the streets and suddenly realize, hey, I can compute the likelihood that it's using this kind of street pattern, and therefore there's a shortcut here.
It's very good at geometry. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Actually, that's a much better way to say it. Very good at geometry and estimations.
There you go. Alright, what's yours?
She knows, she has contacts, like,
Mad logistic skills.
like illegal, lots of, like, illegal, like, drugs.
So that's her talent?
Well,
Her talent is that she knows people?
she's got, like barfly or whatever, like, she would think she does, but...
It's a talent, something that you can do something
Like,
well.
something physical, or...
Well, it just says here, allows the character to be thoroughly exceptional, if supernatural if so, at a particular thing he can do. So do is pretty much a verb.
It has to be an action.
Something you can do. Yeah, something you can do.
Go Power Rangers!
But yeah, so exhaustion talent. Something you can do.
No, I can't think right now.
I mean, can you think of something other than she knows people?
Other than...
Maybe she can. She can persuade people to do things that
She's
she wants.
socially, like, she can, like, smile her way out of anything, like...
She's persuasive.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's overly persuasive. She can persuade people. The next thing is your madness talent. Allows the character to do something he simply cannot do. Something which normally is outside the realm of human reality and possibility. This might be something as simple as flying without the aid of any device, reading minds, compelling others to tell the truth, moving through objects, or moving objects with telekinesis. Madness talent can imply several levels of power which it operates on, or may simply walk at a certain level. Using a madness talent pushes the character closer to the brink of insanity. If he goes insane, he could become a nightmare himself.
Limited omniscience. He
It's
can
not
know.
really omniscience then.
He can know things he can't possibly know.
Alright.
You can look at a creature he's never seen before, and he can say, "This is how its legs operates." If he tries to think about,
He has scan.
and if he tries to think about why he knows this, he comes up with a whole bunch of logical type ideas, but they just have no bottom to them. There's no reason why he should know what he knows. He just kind of.
I think my girl is like that, like, you know the show Grimm, where, like, she sees exactly what the person is, right when she meets them. She knows, she has a general idea of whether they're competing.
Her madness talent is basically she can read and she can basically know what kind of person you are.
Yeah, like, she's telepathic, but not...
Empathic.
Empathic. Like, she doesn't know what they think, but
No,
she
but
knows...
she can
She's
tell.
Counselor Troy.
She
Yeah.
can read the personality.
Yeah.
Be like, that's
I
not
think
you,
you're
anymore.
angry. I just threw a goddamn table, and I'm a Klingon. What the hell do you think?
He's very angry and defensive. Really?
Yeah, that's right.
He threatened to fire at us and then hung up the phone. You think he might be a little pissed and defensive.
Alright, so, oops. What are you?
Implanting ideas in other people's heads. Just like sort of making something like, you know.
Everybody's going for the brain.
I'm calling something from nothing.
Summoning?
I can create matter. On a like a minor scale.
You can create a house to hide it inside.
Not so much, but like a hammer or
Well, there's different levels.
maybe even a bike.
But there's different levels, right? So maybe, like, if you're really, really stressed out.
I could create like a car.
Oh.
Or maybe I'll go for like Doc Manhattan, adjust matter on a molecular level.
So,
I think making matter is far more interesting though.
the madness talent, like, madness dice come and go. So, the more madness dice you spend into something, the more powerful your thing is. So, when you get to a point that you're trying to do something that's like, seems like a big task, then you put more madness dice in. All the dice you guys roll always benefits you. So, the more dice you get, the better. Even exhaustion dice, even though exhaustion dice will eventually kill you, the more dice you have, the better your roll is. But your dice also indicate your health, your sanity. So, the more dice you get, the worse off your character is.
Ooh, I just thought of something else that might work. Now I'm thinking kind of like a Daniel Lexi kind of thing, where she just makes imaginary friends. Like, she imagines friends, and then they're there, so she can have people help her with things.
So she's schizophrenic.
Kinda, except the voices she hears actually become people.
pretty cool, actually.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
You can always have a helping friend. Mr. Wiggles, I need to get up here.
Like
What are
a
you
teddy
talking
bear.
about?
that
Holy
can
shit,
walk
where'd that come
around
from?
Are you a giant sandworm? How impolite! I am a person just like you. I am Mr. Wiggles.